Dear friends, I believe that loneliness is one of the greatest fears of human beings because it hurts, and even the strongest cannot deny it. Due to the fear of loneliness, people involve themselves more and more in activities to avoid being alone. We run around, keep busy, and say we need to do something so we won't be alone. However, we do not understand that winning loneliness at any cost can be as bad as being alone. Winning loneliness without filter and without criterion is as devastating as loneliness itself. If we do not deal with the fear of loneliness, dissatisfaction, sadness, insecurity, and depression will accompany us. We confuse loneliness with solitude, and this causes us much suffering. When we are lonely, the first thing we feel is the lack of attention. We want to be noticed and seen. Are you craving attention today? Do you feel helpless or abandoned? Although loneliness is a terrible experience, there is a strategy to make it less painful: solitude. We must differentiate between loneliness and solitude. Loneliness is characterized by an existential emptiness and a lack of meaningful relationships. Even when we are surrounded by many people and busy with many activities, loneliness and the lack of friendship still persist and cannot fill this void. Like desert and ruin owls, we are always alone. But solitude is different. It is a state of being alone but not feeling lonely. It is a moment of reflection and contemplation, where we can connect with our essence and the world around us. It is the key to transforming loneliness into an enriching experience. We are driven daily into a world of lonely crowds, in orphanages, nursing homes, and hospitals. People are afraid of being alone. But they do not need to be afraid, because we can migrate from loneliness to solitude. The problem is not being alone. The problem is being empty. Loneliness is an existential void that we try to fill with interpersonal relationships, but it is never enough. Solitude is finding calm in a world full of noise and confusion, being alone. Understanding the difference between loneliness and solitude is fundamental. Solitude gives us the opportunity to be deep, renew our hopes and align our thoughts and feelings. What kills the lonely person does not kill that period of solitude. So do not be afraid of being alone, and enjoy solitude as a moment of reflection and personal growth. Moments of solitude are essential, important, and being alone should not be the end of the world or the end of the line. I am not saying that having people around is bad. Balance is needed, but loneliness can make us accept anything just to have someone by our side. Being alone should be seen as a blessing, and when we understand the value of solitude, silence becomes an ally of trust. So do not be afraid of being alone. We must go from loneliness to solitude so that we can have deep moments of reflection and renewal of hope. Solitude is silence, that moment when there is no one around. There is no father, mother, friend, nothing. But to be silent, it is necessary to trust. Do not be carried away by the thoughts that spin like tops in your head. Do not ask yourself what to do, what others are thinking, or plotting against you. In the moment of solitude, it is necessary to avoid precipitancy. Those who are afraid scream. Those who are afraid panic. But when in solitude, it is possible to find peace in silence, without the interference of other voices. The sphere of solitude is the realm of freedom to stay silent, and it is important to silence to listen to oneself. Although silence is often interpreted as the absence of language or communication, it actually involves the ability to listen more than someone may say. When we are silent, we are saying that we are ready to listen. Often, when we seek someone close to us, it is not to help that person, it is for them to help us. And solitude becomes a problem because we think that having someone by our side will help us improve, complete us, give us more tools to face challenges, that having company will make the pain less. In reality, we do not want company just to enjoy their company. Often we want company because we are afraid of who we really are, afraid of being alone. To leave loneliness behind, one must move towards solitude. Have friends, but do not depend on them. Solitude is a blessing, and being alone should never be a problem.